surely as a girl, you're not going, well, the reason he's doing it for free is because he wants to see me nude. Duh.
Well, no, because it's a mutual benefit. Because I do that. Like, I charge for all my photo shoots because it's what I do for a living.
Is there not an element of that being a compliment? Frustrating because you don't get your needs met, maybe?
Oh, no. I think it depends how he reacts.
How he reacts?
Yeah. If he comes quick and then he's just like, all right, well, I'm done.
Right.
Then,
Yeah,
if it was someone that I was going to pay £1,000 to shoot with, then see me naked.
Wait, would you give up your Instagram for a relationship with the guy that you want?
Potentially, yes. However, I wouldn't give up my job.
Yo guys, welcome back to another episode on my channel. I'm sitting in this spot, which means I've got a great conversation lined up for you today. You know, on this channel, we love talking about all things dating, relationships, and seeing what we can do to attract the kind of person we want. So without further ado, please welcome Emmerald to the show. Welcome, Emmerald. How are you today?
I'm okay. I'm a bit nervous. First time I've done one-to-one.
One-to-one. Thing is, not your first time on a podcast, so you know you're used to being in front of the camera in more ways than one.
Yeah.
And we can definitely touch on that for sure at some point. But I'd like to jump straight in. So tell us your age or your age range, right? Asking a lady her age. And then one thing a guy should know about you if he was going to take you on a date.
I'm 38. And if you're going to take me on a date, I hope you like animals. I've got 10 dogs, 2 cats.
Wow, 10 dogs and 2 cats.
Yeah.
God damn. Was that fully intentional, or did you just kept taking them and then one day you're like, oh wow, I've got a herd?
Yeah, kind of. A bit intentional. We had 4 or 5 and we were going to breed them.
Okay.
And then 2 of them were just really cute.
Yeah.
And named them. And so they stayed with us, Bert and Poppy. And then, so that was like 7. Then we got a couple more huskies, and then we got my nan's dogs as well.
Oh my gosh!
So,
wow.
Yeah, and then the cats. We had 6, but yeah.
You have 6 cats.
We had 6.
You had 6, but now you've got 2.
Diminished. Sorry.
Oh my gosh! Wow, that's is there ever a quiet moment in that household or not really?
No.
Do you kind of like that?
No, I live with my mum and dad, so sneaking in if you're drunk at like 2 o'clock in the morning is not.
It's not happening. Oh, you're gonna get half them dogs barking at you.
Oh, they all do. Yeah, they go mental.
Have you ever brought a guy back?
Not to the new house, no.
Okay. Would you?
No.
Yeah.
I would. Well, I wouldn't bring him back at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to wake up with my mum and dad and like 10 dogs and stuff. Like,
they'll be like, wow, this is the best breakfast company I've ever had.
Don't think so.
Oh my gosh, I love that. And for you, in terms of like dating, etc., how do you describe the dating landscape in 3 words today?
I'm not gonna lie, I've been single for 4 years, so I've not really dated too much for the last
why you've been single?
4 years. A little bit. I don't really have much time. Probably dishonest from what I know of.
Okay.
Flippant and quick.
She talking about the dating, or she talking about something else? It's very quick. To be fair, that actually might, you know what? It's really funny. We'll come into the other 2. But if a guy's like really quick in the bedroom, is there not an element of that being a compliment? Frustrating because you don't get your needs met, maybe. But is that a compliment because it's like you're either really good or he's so turned on by you he can control himself? Or is it like more frustrating?
Oh no, I think it depends how he reacts.
How he reacts?
Yeah. If he comes quick and then he's just like, all right, well, I'm done.
Right.
Then, or if he's a bit like shy or embarrassed by it, then that's not a thing. That doesn't bother me.
Okay.
But if he's just quick and done,
he's like passed out.
Then then that's the thing. But it's better, I think, than someone that doesn't finish.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because then that'd worry me that like I wasn't doing what I needed to do.
Oh, even if your needs were being met?
Yeah.
So even if he was interesting, I always thought that would be better.
No.
So is that like I don't know, it's like an ego thing, but maybe it could affect your self-confidence. Like, maybe I didn't do anything right. Wow. I guess that does kind of make sense.
So someone that was quick, but then was happy to still make
generous.
Sure that I was done.
Yes.
Would be better. Or that was a bit embarrassed and a bit nervous would be better than someone that just went on forever and then didn't. But I was done.
But you were done. I guess to be fair, you having that experience, you'd be like, oh wow, this is what it's like being the guy. where you kind of finish and maybe he didn't.
Yeah. And he's like,
You're more of a conscious guy's like, cool, I'm great, I'm out, I'm passed out. When you said flippant, what do you mean by that?
I think people nowadays are quite easy to switch if there's a problem, or rather than I don't think people are very good at communicating.
Okay.
Now, not that necessarily they were in the past, because I think in the past it was more you just stuck to your person.
Yeah, so you kind of had no choice.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Whereas now I think people are quite wishy-washy with dating.
Yeah. Would you say that's like in particular dating, or would you include that in relationships as well? Do you feel like people are really quick to kind of leave relationships?
I don't really know. I think a lot of people think the grass is greener. Like you've got your girl or fella at home that doesn't pick his washing up, or the girl doesn't do whatever it is that, give you blowjobs or whatever.
Yeah.
And then someone else gives them attention. People are quite quick to flip versus watering the grass where it is.
Yeah. Have you ever experienced that from someone you were with before?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Really?
Yeah.
Like in a relationship, or like the dating wise?
In a relationship, because in dating, for me, I don't think until you get to the parameters of it's just you two, and for me, if someone wasn't communicative now, I wouldn't really bother. Carrying on.
When you say is it more about communicating like their intentions, or is it communicating about just kind of being consistent in messaging? Like, what do you mean?
Oh no, I don't mean consistently messaging. Like that doesn't bother me. I'm so bad at messaging. Sometimes I'll forget. Like I'll be on a shoot or something, and then someone will message me.
Yes.
I'll open it, and then I won't reply for like 2 or 3 days. Not someone I'm dating, but like a friend,
just in general.
or yeah.
Yeah.
So not that. I think communicating just everything, just being honest with your intentions, with stuff that annoys you about me, or stuff that I'm not doing. I think unless someone knows, you can't fix it.
Yeah, of course. Have you had that where maybe a guy he was like, oh, you're not doing this, and so he just didn't tell you, but you found out after the fact?
Definitely, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't have to say anything you don't want to, but can you give us an example?
I'm an open book. So I dated someone that had a foot fetish, and I didn't find out until after. And he was really embarrassed to like tell me.
Right.
So he didn't communicate that. And I'm really funny about certain things. Like my sister used to tickle me when I was a kid.
Okay.
And so that, like, my feet are like a thing.
Okay. As in a guy can't go near your feet?
They can. If I'd have known he was into it, then I wouldn't have been like, whenever he touched them and like snatched them away.
Yeah.
You know?
I would have kicked him in the face every time he tried to give me a massage on my feet.
Yeah, basically. Like if he'd have said, then I would have been more aware that when he's picked my feet up when we're on the sofa and stuff, and I'm like,
okay.
You know?
Yeah. That is interesting. Fetishes is an interesting thing, because I guess how or when do you tell them that? How or when do you tell them that?
I think if it's something that I consider small, like foot fetish, or something that's not life-changing, or could be, or
something that's not going to give me pink eye. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Then I think you just slip it into conversation.
Okay. I thought you just slip it in. I was like, whoa, I don't recommend that. I don't recommend that. Interesting.
But if it's a big thing, I think you should say it pretty much up. I'd say it first or second date.
Really?
Yeah. Because if you're not into what I'm into and it's something major.
Yeah, if it's okay, yeah.
Something gross or
what about the first time what about if you've been sleeping together for a little bit and then introduce it? Because I think first date, because wouldn't that, especially for women, wouldn't that put some women off if a guy says that to you and you've not even taken that step yet? No. I just like honesty. So if I was on a first date with a guy and he was like, listen, I've got a latex fetish, I'd be like, sweet. And if I wasn't into that, or like if it was an absolute, like I've got a shaving head fetish, for instance. I don't know whether that's a thing, but it must be. Yeah.
Then I'd be like, no, we're not gonna, because you're
We're not
always gonna want something that
compatible.
I can't give you.
Yeah, of
Or
course.
if I really liked him, I'd be like, let's see where it goes. Maybe we can get a bird and shave her head.
Yeah, that. Appreciate that. Is there anything that you are very straight up upfront about that maybe most people aren't?
Everything. I'm so like
Really?
Ron Seal. You get everything. You get exactly what it says on the tin. I'm very. And I think sometimes my guy friends have said like that's a bit. It can be a bit much.
Okay, like what? Like what would you say?
Everything. Like I'm just like, so I like this. I'm looking for this. I'm like, blah blah blah. Like, do you want kids? Do you not want, like first date?
Okay.
Like let's get, because I don't like wasting time.
Yeah. Shall I tell you what? I think it's definitely good to see if you're on the same page with a guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes though it can feel like an interview.
Mm-hmm.
So if like, oh, where do you want to live? Do you want kids? What are you looking for?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to get married? Big wedding, small wedding, all of that. Even if a guy is open to it, I think it can feel like, oh, you're just looking for someone to fill that position, not necessarily him.
Yeah.
So I think maybe the equivalent would be like, oh, if a guy's, hey, I'm just looking to hook up. Does that make you feel special as a woman?
Doesn't make me feel special, but I'd rather that.
Well, yeah, because for you, be like,
and then I'd be like,
time.
Yes or no. I'd be like,
Has that ever worked before? Has a guy been like, hey, I'm just kind of looking to hook up, and you're like, okay.
No one's ever said that.
They never say it.
No. Had some of the people who have led me on have said that. Some of them I still would have slept with. Some of them, not so much.
What's the difference between the ones you would have and the ones you wouldn't have?
Attractiveness.
Fairs.
Off the bat, just attractiveness.
Okay. Do you have a type?
Yeah, apparently. Not very attractive and cheats on me.
Damn. Really?
Yeah.
Well, I guess the guys who led you on that were your type. What were they? Was that what it was, or where you say you weren't really that attracted to them?
Well, my last partner definitely wasn't attracted to him off the back. I'd met him apparently 3 or 4 times before.
Apparently,
well, I don't remember meeting him, which again says I didn't find him attractive.
There.
Yeah, otherwise I would have been like, oh yeah, I remember him.
Interesting. So how did he win you over?
He spent 2 years apparently listening to me.
What do you mean?
Everything, the way things that I want, things that
So he was
when
a friend?
when I thought, well, he was a friend of a friend, so I don't remember meeting him over those 2 years.
Right.
But then when I actually met him and spent time with him, I thought, oh, you're a bit of me. And I thought, like the intellect and the conversation and stuff made me attracted to him.
Yeah, 100%. It's so interesting how like where a woman may not be attracted to a guy initially, but then he can have these other qualities that then grows that attraction. I don't think the same really works for guys though. Usually it's like either I find her attractive and I'm open to that, or I don't, and it's just gonna be like a friendship thing. But I think most men find most women attractive, to be fair. I'll probably say.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
Oh, yeah and no. I think
okay.
A guy, so for instance, like a guy and a girl, I might grow to like him if we're friends. But if he doesn't find me attractive, he will never grow to like me and be like, oh my God, I'm in love with her.
Yeah.
If he doesn't have that initial attraction.
Yes. Yeah.
I think that.
Yeah. Sorry, what I mean is more guys would sleep with more women.
Oh yeah.
But most women would not sleep with most guys.
Yeah. Yeah, like cheating. Guys cheat with what's available, women cheat with what they're attracted to. Or what someone's giving them.
Yeah. Do you think there's a difference for why men and women cheat?
Yeah, that men cheat for what's available.
But do you think there's a difference as in why they would choose to do it?
I think socially, yeah. I think it's more socially acceptable for men.
Do you think it's acceptable
it is for women? Men? I don't know.
I think most people chastise men when they cheat. When anyone cheats, I think.
They do. Most people chastise men when they cheat, but a woman will stay with a man when he cheats.
Yes.
More than a man will stay with a woman.
That is true.
That's what I mean by...
Okay, I see what you're saying.
It's not socially acceptable, like you're a cheater, compulsive eater, but the woman will stay.
Why do you think women stay?
They think they can change the man.
Yes. Why do you think men don't stay? Do they not think they can change her?
It's not about changing. I think they think they're dirty. Then it's ruined. And then they think of the man when they're intimate with the woman.
Yeah, big facts. That is so true. I think ultimately everybody wants loyalty, right? But I think every man's worst fear is raising children that aren't his. And so that's what that really speaks to. It's like, if I continue to build a life with this woman, invest into her, and she's cheated already, it suggests that there's a higher likelihood that she could cheat, and then maybe the kids are mine. And that's
Or
like
if you've already got children.
Very, yeah, sure. If she's already got children,
They
that's
look like Uncle Pete.
So true. Have you ever stayed with a guy when he did cheat?
Yes.
Okay. And was it the same reason you felt you could change him?
Yes, very much so.
Okay. What was from staying with him to when things actually ended? Like how long did you stay for essentially?
I think about 2 years, but we'd been together 4 years at that point.
Yeah.
He could have been cheating, but that was when I found out. And I had a child at the time. He was basically the person that my daughter called dad, and I wanted that family. And I believed him when he said that he would not do that, and it was my fault, why, and all that.
What was your fault?
Why he cheated. I wasn't.
Is that what he said to you?
Yeah.
What was his reason?
I wasn't giving him what he wanted.
Ah.
And I don't mean sexually, mentally.
Oh. Yeah, I guess that. Interesting. That must be quite difficult to hear. I mean, cheating is hard to hear anyway, but I guess I'm making an assumption, so you tell me. I guess if a guy doesn't condone it, if a guy goes out one night and he hooks up with a girl, it's like, I'm sorry, I was attracted to her and I was drunk. It was stupid. At least doesn't make it okay. But you're like, okay, at least you know he just made a stupid mistake because he's an idiot.
That for me is more forgivable.
Right.
When I say mentally, I don't mean that because when he said it, I thought, so it was the woman that did his waxing. So I thought, really mentally, what, she's giving you more than me, the wax lady. Okay. Been together 4 years. What he meant was that he was a narcissist and all the rest of it and abusive. So his mental changes of me that he wanted me to do and the way he wanted me to be, I wasn't succumbing to that fast enough. That's what he meant. Okay.
So was it that he wanted new things and wanted you to shift, or were there things that he had always wanted from the beginning that maybe he never had expressed?
He'd always expressed it, that I was not the way that he wanted a woman to be. I was too loud and very flamboyant. And I know, why get with me?
Yeah, why?
I'm the loudest. I'm not going to change. Like,
I mean, that's yeah. Why? So interesting is that he was like, okay, I can change her.
Yeah.
Wow. And you don't have to answer this. Did you walk away? Did he walk away?
I walked away.
Okay.
I escaped.
Yeah. What made you go, I'm done. This isn't for me anymore.
He'd not spoken to me for a whole year in the house. He'd not said a word. It was, yeah.
That's a difficult energy to be home in.
Yeah. And I was being away more than I was. And I thought, no, this has got to stop.
What about, because one child you have?
Yeah.
Daughter?
Yeah,
son?
daughter. Yeah.
What about for her in that environment?
She was okay. So now she was okay. Like, she didn't realize that we weren't, because I was the only one. I was the breadwinner, which was an issue as well.
Okay. For you or for him?
Well, for me, yeah. Paying all of his bills when he wasn't working was an issue. But for him, masculine wise. Did
you comment on it?
He commented. No, I didn't. He did a lot. But then wouldn't get off his ass and work.
Right. So what would he say? Because usually if someone's going to pay for you, I think a lot of people are like, oh, that's great. That's such a sweet deal. I take that.
Yeah. He wanted more from life and thought he was more intelligent and worth more than the pay that he was going to get from certain jobs.
Right.
So he didn't take them.
Right. Interesting. So I'm guessing, did you leave the house? Did he leave?
I left. It was my house. I left the house. I left the car. I left everything. I told him he could have everything. And then...
I'm feeling this is like a whole role reversal, because usually this is the guy's story. Like, she got the car, she got the house and stuff. She was trying to change me and I couldn't be what she wanted to. So that's so interesting how it's kind of...
It was safety reasons, like why I left. Like I didn't feel like it was getting very thick with animosity,
right.
even though there was no words said. Like I just didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
So I just thought, you know what, have the car, have the house for a period of time. We'll go.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's more, we actually communicate more through non-verbal communication than even what we actually say a lot of the time. Interesting. Wow. What did you learn about yourself, about the kind of man you want to be with, or like relationships in general for you?
That I can't change, that I'm a grown up, and that things I can change. Certain things that are not a base thing for me.
Sure.
So I can't change how loud I am. I can't change how scatty I am and how forgetful I am and things like that. Like, it's just who I am.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to try and change them. Like, if you don't like me as I am, then...
I imagine being that way, you're like the center of attention a lot.
I am, but I hate being the center of attention.
Really?
Yeah. Like,
but you're in front of the camera, what do you mean?
I am. I'm like, my hands are sweating.
Even just from here?
Yeah. Oh. I'm used to pictures. Right. So video, like, makes me nervous.
Really? I mean, this isn't your first time, but okay. No. Interesting. So what about in social situations? You don't like being the center of attention as well? I
don't, no. When everyone but I am really loud and really like, meh.
Yeah.
Waft my hands around a lot when I'm talking, but it's not because I want attention. It's because whatever I'm speaking to with the person I'm speaking to about, I'm passionate about. And a lot of people get that wrong.
Yeah.
And think that I'm loud because I want attention, and I really don't.
Yeah. I mean, not necessarily that you want attention, but that you embrace it. Maybe. Almost like a extroverted introvert.
Yeah, very, very. I'm weird.
That's so interesting. I mean, you must get a lot of attention from guys in such situations, kind of being that energy.
I don't really. I do sometimes.
Okay.
But not really. I think I'm quite off-putting in social situations.
Really? Why? Why do you think you're off-putting?
Because I'm like, I'm running around and stuff, gone.
Oh, people are like, she's
weird.
A loose one.
Yeah, weird or loud.
Interesting. Okay, let's come on to your profession, what you do, right? So can you tell us what you do for a living?
So I'm a model. I specialise in 1940s, 1950s vintage pin-up.
Yeah.
So kind of like Marilyn Monroe vibes.
Yeah.
Betty Page, that type of thing.
Yeah.
I go all over the world doing it. I'm the face of quite a few brands. I love it. I do a bit of acting as well. So.
Yeah. And what made you get into the modelling side of things? Because you kind of do a lot of risque photos as well.
I do, yeah. No.
Yeah. Not before?
Oh, no. When I first started, I wouldn't even wear a thong when people wanted to shoot me. I always figured you can go up, you can never come down.
Sure.
So I was always quite cautious of upping my levels. I always wanted to shoot nude because one of my best friends, Maddie, is unreal. And some of her pictures that she's got on the wall and stuff, she's nude and she's got sparkly bits and they're just unreal. And I always thought, I want some of them pictures for when I'm old.
Yeah.
Look at you, Nan.
Yes.
How cute I was. But I was aware that you could go up, you can't come down. Yeah, and when I first started, I was definitely not comfortable with doing topless or anything.
Okay. So what was that step from not being comfortable to being comfortable to literally put yourself out there for the world to see you naked, essentially?
It was working with a photographer called Phil Mayers, who I started doing a lot of the pin-up with. He was the first person I ever shot with.
Yeah.
I said to him, I want to start doing topless, let's do some pictures. And I knew that anything that I didn't like, he would delete.
Right.
He wasn't someone that if he liked it, he would put it out there or even keep
for his own.
He wasn't bothered. And I did a topless shoot with him and he was like, oh babe, you're definitely not ready. And I was, it was implied topless.
Yes.
So something in front or just your hand or
Yeah.
and then when he looked at the pictures and even while we were shooting, he was like, "You're not ready to do topless. You like this."
Okay.
Like I was
Interesting.
making sure, you know.
Yes.
So I wasn't quite comfortable. And
Okay.
then I did a nude shoot about 6 months after that with a photographer called Glenn Wallace, and it was amazing, and I loved them. And they were just for me. And then I thought, I'm fine now.
Like, here you are. How much of like you being comfortable, well, with your clothes off is down to the photographer? Like, you say 50-50? Is it like 80% you, 20% them? Like,
for me, I think it's all me.
Yeah, okay.
Because even now, even though I do shoot clothes like nude, some people, it is a bit them. Some people I won't. But I know that already. It's not necessarily them. It's my parameters. So like if someone's got a home studio and I've never shot with them before, or they want to shoot in like a hotel or something like that, I'm not doing nude. Like, okay. I don't know you. I don't want that to already become an issue that could be an issue.
As in like, so based on where they would shoot would determine whether you want to do nude. So like if it was like a professional studio, you're more likely to do it.
Yeah, I'll do nude.
What, like for example, if it was they rented a space in a hotel, why would that be?
Because you're on your, if it's a male photographer, which 90% of them are.
Yep.
Because you're on your own in a room with
naked,
a male
with a guy,
and you've got your clothes off.
Right.
Some people do perceive that as a yes.
But the photographer would think that's a yes?
100%.
Even though it's like there's lights and camera, like that's not pretty obvious that's the purpose? Or?
But 100%, because a lot of the photographers I work with they're not shooting for a brand or they're shooting for themselves. They're like hobby photographers or interested in photography.
Right.
And some people do use that as a
way to initiate something.
Yeah.
Has that ever worked with you?
No, never.
Would you be open to it?
No.
Oh, yeah, that's like vehemently no.
Yeah, no.
Why is that?
If there was an attractive photographer, then while we were on the shoot and whilst I'm naked, he insinuated something or said something, no.
Yeah, of course.
No.
Yeah.
If after a shoot, or if before a shoot he let me know that he was interested, probably I wouldn't then shoot with him.
Yeah, how could you?
Yeah.
Yeah, how could you?
But if after, then possibly. But even then, I'd just think that he was just doing that with every model that was shooting with him.
Interesting. Okay, so imagine if a guy, you shoot with him, let's say, not fully nude, but let's say like you've just got undies on, but top nude, right? And let's say the shoot went well, all of this, and then afterwards he's like, hey, look, I really like your energy and stuff. Would you like to grab a drink sometime next week? Would you be like, no, because...
I don't know. It'd depend on the person.
Fair enough.
And it would probably depend how attractive he was.
If he was, for you found him attractive?
Possibly. But then in the back of my head, I'd be thinking, where's this going to go? Because you probably do this with all the girls.
Interesting. Imagine, well, the irony is if every girl thought that, then that means it would never actually happen with any girl.
But a lot of girls in the industry do it because they think they're getting a peg up by doing it.
Yeah.
Or when really these guys are like, if you're going to go sleep with Hugh Hefner, then obviously that's potentially worth it.
Yes.
Obviously he's dead now, but
of course.
But some photographer that works for some online magazine.
Yeah.
I don't know why I did that because they actually are online. That was magazine was the wrong one.
Online doesn't exist.
I know, online.
How are you watching
I went online magazine to get published.
Yeah.
You know?
But I guess wouldn't he then charge for that though? Because this is, okay, so for me as a guy, right, I'm thinking, okay, if you've got an amazing photographer, like he takes amazing shoots, like he's good that you look at his shoots, you go, I want shots like that, right? And it's going to be nude. And he's like, yeah, I'll do it for free. Surely as a girl, you're not going, well, the reason he's doing it for free is because he wants to see me nude. Duh. Otherwise, he would charge me.
Well, no, because it's a mutual benefit. Because I do that. Like I charge for all my photo shoots because it's what I do for a living. However, there are certain photographers that I will work with
as a collaboration.
Yes,
makes
because
sense.
Normally I would have to pay them.
Yes.
Normally they would have to pay me. So if
yes,
it's worth, you
the
know,
exposure.
There's no such thing as it. There is exposure, but it doesn't get you paid shoots.
Okay.
If the pictures are going to be worth it, then I will collab with people.
Okay, interesting.
It might because they want to see me naked. I don't mind. But
yeah. Hey,
if,
at least
if it was someone that I was going to pay £1,000 to shoot with, then see me naked.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. I guess that makes sense.
You know.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense.
Because even as a professional model, there's still photographers that I will pay for.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you'll pay for shoots.
Yeah,
Yeah. Have you found that since? Because how long have you been doing this for?
20 years.
Oh, you've been here for 20 years?
Well, sorry, no, I've been in the industry 20 years. I've been modelling myself for about 13.
When did you start the nude shoots?
Probably about 6 years ago, 5-6 years ago.
Okay. Did you notice a difference in male attention when you started?
From photographers or
I guess in general, yeah, the wider world. Because you start putting those photos out online, right?
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Facebook. Fucking sorry.
Yeah.
Facebook jail.
Yeah.
I noticed that once I started doing that, people expected more
photos,
higher levels. So when I was just shooting lingerie, not many people asked for nude photos, or was there anywhere where I'd done this or that?
As in guys who took an interest in you?
Guys that took an interest, photographers, anyone. Whereas once I started doing the topless and then the nude, it was kind of like expected. So when I first started, there was a lot of photographers that I would only shoot nude with, you know, Glenn Wallace or Phil Mayers or, you know, there was only like 5 or 6 photographers that I would shoot nude with.
Yeah.
And then I did Dollhouse, which is like a big pin-up. And that went massive. And then a lot of people just expected that they could book me for a day shoot and that I would come to their house and shoot nude.
Right.
Because I'd done it with Dollhouse.
If you're loving this episode and these kinds of conversations, then I want to give you something. We recently launched the Kits Angels community. This is a sisterhood for women who are tired of what the dating scene has given them and are ready to take their love lives to the next level. It's a space for you as a woman to not be alone in your journey to love, where we learn, talk, and share our experiences as part of a strong sisterhood, with some leadership and guidance from yours truly, of course. Not to mention never before seen videos from me on how I've led dozens of women to meeting great men. And so as a thank you for watching this episode, I'm giving you a month's membership completely complimentary on me. Just click the Kits Angels link below, and when you join the group, message me the code phrase Angels Podcast and I will pay for your membership. Now back to the episode.
Okay. Did you feel a different expectation in guys who maybe wanted to date you?
Yes, that I was going to be a certain way. I was going to turn up in full hair and makeup, and like then if it progressed, if it progressed, I was going to turn up in full
leather
stockings and suspenders. And
I mean, you could. I mean, that's a play fun night, right? But
yeah,
not for me.
I'm not paying my hair and makeup team, and
for
you know, it was kind of like expected that I was going to be a certain way.
Right. How much do you think? Because I guess you're kind of your online presence, you're putting forward almost a persona, a caricature.
100%.
So how much do you think guys are falling for the caricature of what you're putting out, as opposed to, oh, I'm just attracted to this woman? Does that make sense?
Yes. If it's someone that meets my
physical
online
persona.
Oh,
sorry, yes.
Then they very much expect me to be a certain way. Guys and girls. Like,
what's it been like on the girls' front?
I've met a few people that are like almost disappointed when they actually meet me versus Emma Bowers. Because I'm like,
okay, because you're just a
regular person.
A regular person.
I'm not 9 to 5 done up, pin up.
Wait, you mean you don't live in the 1950s? What the fuck is this, Emerald? What?
Yeah. And I'm not like really quiet and prim and like, oh my God, hi. I'm like,
okay. That's so interesting. What's something you want to talk about? What's the question you'd ask men today?
I think it's along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
What am I doing? Is it that I've got an OnlyFans and blah, blah, blah? Why are people perceiving me in a certain way?
Okay.
Even if I meet them normally, as soon as they then see my social media and stuff like that, why is there the change and things?
Yeah. Okay. So what is the way that they are seeing you?
Easy and all the bells and whistles.
Sure.
If that makes sense.
Makes sense.
Inside the bedroom and out.
Sure. Because of what you put out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because even though it is work, there is still an element of, because if it wasn't work, there's still an element of how we choose to present ourselves to the world says something about the energy that we are intending to receive.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so for example, the same would be like, if a guy is flaunting his extravagant lifestyle on Instagram, he's in these private jets, these fancy clubs, etc. And then a girl sees that, and like, oh yeah, I want to meet and go on a date. He's like, oh yeah, let's just go for a coffee and a walk. And all the dates are really wholesome. Well, she's going to have a different expectation because of what he's presenting to the world. Doesn't make it right.
Yeah.
But that's very much the case, right? So if he's putting out just only lifestyle, like nothing that is necessarily about who he is as a person, like maybe nothing friends or family relative or relevant rather, the energy we put out is going to affect the energy that comes back to us. So if you're putting out provocative sexual energy, that's going to be the majority of the energy that comes back to you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's nice, but
no, yeah,
that's very much the case.
Yeah, because I was just thinking, well, I wouldn't expect someone like that, but then I wouldn't message someone based off that. But yeah.
Do you not ever, like, if you connect with a guy and you see his Instagram, does his Instagram not give you
I don't
a level of impression?
I don't look through people's.
You never look?
Care. No.
Okay.
I don't care what's online because I'm very aware of.
Sure, because you're in this space, so you kind of, right.
No such thing as bad press. Google me, some of the things are not that great.
Yeah.
But either made up or just.
Yeah. Have you found a difference between the attention you get since doing this compared to before? Is it like very different for you?
No.
Okay.
I think I get more now attention than I did before.
Yeah.
Like online and stuff like that. I get DMs and things. Whereas before I did this, I never had social media and stuff. So, but then in real life, I would still get attention and I didn't like it. Like, I don't like people. I'm quite weird. So like if I'm in a bar and there's a guy and off the back, I would find him attractive.
Yes. If
he comes over, like I really struggle with that. I don't like rejection and stuff. Even though he's come over to me, there's been times when I've been like, oh, sorry, like this is my girlfriend, this is my wife. We've got 8 kids together, like, and then my friend's been like, whoa, he's really fit. Like you'd like him. And I'm like, yeah, but he's weird. And they're like, why? Because he's come over and said hi. And I'm like, oh yeah.
Do you find that weird if a guy approaches you?
I do, yeah, because I'm not used to it. Or I think they've got an ulterior motive.
So you trust the genuinity of it?
Yeah.
You distrust the genuinity of it? So why would you think they're approaching you?
I don't know.
Wait, so when you think they've got an ulterior motive, what do you think that motive might be?
I don't know, like because they know who I am, or they've seen my social media, or I don't know. Could
they have seen that and be like, oh, I respect the work that you do and that you're someone kind of making moves?
So. But it freaks me out.
So I reckon, I know you said that, sure, the energy you put out is going to be the energy you get. So, guys, if you're putting out very sexually provocative stuff, guys are going to read that and be like, okay, cool, this is their energy to approach her with, right? Or that's what brings it out of them. But I reckon there would have been guys who actually were open to getting to know you that maybe you're like, nah, I'm just not.
100% that I've been like, I'm a lesbian. We've got 10 kids. It's our anniversary, you're ruining it.
Oh my god.
And then I'm like, oh, he's cute. Never mind.
Wow,
but I think
so
when I go out I don't go out to meet other people.
Mm-hmm.
Like I go out to be with who I'm out with.
Yep.
And I quite struggle with, I'm autistic, so I do struggle with like other people that I don't know outside.
Okay.
I struggle with that. Intentions and what do they want, and even messaging people. Sometimes I have to ask my friends, like, is that guy being weird? And they're like, no, he's just asking you, like, you having a nice day?
Okay.
I'm like, why does he want to know? They're like, he might like you. I'm like, oh, okay.
Okay. So how you don't have to talk about this, but with your previous ex, how did that start then? Because you were together for 6 years in total?
Yeah, the original, the one that I left my house.
Yes.
So he was an actor and I saw him on Hollyoaks and I thought he was really fit. So I waited for the credits, found his name, found him on Facebook, added him, messaged him and was like, hey, you're cute.
So you went after him?
Yeah. And then I didn't get a response. And then a year later when he was single, he messaged me and was like, hi. And I'd forgot. And I was like, oh, hiya.
Interesting. So maybe is it for you, a guy should just wait for you to approach him?
No, because I won't. I don't really like doing that either, because like luckily I'd forgot about him, otherwise I would have deleted it and been like after a bit I'd have been like, he hates me.
Is he the only guy you've ever like approached, like you've gone after?
No,
like
I've done it, but I really don't mind online because I feel like
no one will know.
No, just like I don't remember. Like I might like play Instagram ping pong with someone, you know, where you like a few pictures and wait for them to like them back.
Yeah.
And then they'll like pictures back and I think, oh, he's cute. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, I already liked his pictures. I forgot.
So then if he was like, if let's say that happened and he's like, oh, Emerald, you know, we should actually, you know, meet and maybe do an intro. Would you be like, yeah? Or would you be like, nah, what the fuck is he after?
No, because I'd know that I'd kind of initiated it. So I'd be like, But then chances are, because of my schedule, I wouldn't be able to meet him for a month or two and people get bored real quick. And I'm quite annoying with schedules.
Yeah, okay.
Like if you're not in... Also, I believe like a guy, if you live in London and I'm in Birmingham, then halfway...
Yeah.
For an initial meet, or you come to me, like I'm not coming to you.
I agree with that.
I think either both put in the effort or
yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. If he's initiating, or if he's, you know, coming after you in that sense. Have you ever, because obviously, you know, your photos, your profile would have built a following, let's be honest, of guys who find you very attractive, who want you, who probably thirst over you, all of that stuff. Would you, if you knew there was a guy who was almost a fan of yours, would you be open to that? If you found him attractive?
That would be the big decider. If I found him attractive and if he was honest about it.
Honest about what?
Messaging me because he was a fan.
Right.
You know, I've had people who I was going on a date with then sign up to my OnlyFans, and my OnlyFans is just the same pictures that I put online, but like obviously not covered. And I've not updated it for about a year and a half. When you see them or when they feel the need to tell you, oh, I signed up for your OnlyFans the other day.
Yeah, what does that make you think?
I don't like it, to be honest. If they'd have asked, oh, I've seen that you've got an OnlyFans, what type of things do you post on there? But my first thing would be, yeah, I have a free link. There you go. You know, because it was a different intention.
What do you mean?
So if they're asking what I post on there and things like that, the intention is to kind of figure out what type of person I am, what I'm posting, and, you know, whether that fits.
But do you think anyone signs up to your OnlyFans to see that? Or they sign up because they want to see more?
No, but I mean, when people mention it, having the conversation.
Okay.
Whereas when someone's signed up and say to me, oh, I signed up to you, or I see that it's them because they use their email address and it's the full name, or then they message me on the OnlyFans and go, hey, it's me. I thought I'd sign up. I think, it's because you thought that I did more than I do. And also now you want to let me know that you signed up for it. Like it's...
So is it that you think that the reason they signed up for it is because they wanted to see more?
Mm-hmm.
But isn't that the reason why anyone would sign up?
But it's the conversation before or after. That's what I'm saying. If someone had a conversation with me and they were asking about my OnlyFans or what levels do you shoot, what type of modelling do you do, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
Oh, I see you do OnlyFans, but you say you only shoot closed leg nude. Like most people that do OnlyFans don't shoot closed leg nude. Like, do you do things... Then I would be like, here's a free link. But people signing up, and also I don't have my OnlyFans out there like that. Like the link's nowhere. Like you would have to go on OnlyFans and search me.
Yeah.
To know that really I did it or had it from the past.
Okay. Okay, so if a guy, let's say you started dating, you've been dating for a month, and then he comes to you and he's like, hey, I have a little bit of confession. I found that you had OnlyFans and stuff, and I find you really attractive. So I may have just kind of had a look.
Mm-hmm.
How would that make, is that good or bad for you?
It would depend on but it would have already, if I've been dating him for a month, I would have already said that I have OnlyFans because I know that people do have some people have an issue with that.
Yeah.
And I would have explained exactly what was on there
But him actually signing up to see what you do.
Then if he felt the need to sign up, I don't know.
Do you not see it as him supporting you?
No. Give me the £7.50. I don't even know how much my OnlyFans is. Pulled that price out. But
it's £750.
No, 7. Yeah.
But anyone that can sign up is £750 per month.
I don't even know if it's still active or not. Like that's how little.
Your poor fans, your poor OnlyFans fans, those poor guys. Wow. Because the thing is, I do ask this question, right? As if someone has OnlyFans or if they have a lot of provocative photos and, if they've got guys giving them a lot of likes and stuff. And at the end of the day, that likes and validation guys signing up is kind of what makes and supports your work, right? But then if it was a guy, but you wouldn't choose that guy.
No, and the likes and stuff like that is irrelevant for me. It doesn't pay my bills because I don't do OnlyFans like that.
Yeah.
That's not my bread and butter.
Yeah, but I mean you getting... Well, the algorithm on Instagram, for example, pushing your content up, that grows your influence, and then that.
Oh, my algorithm's rubbish.
No. How do you? So if the likes and follows doesn't help you get work, what helps you get work?
The fact of who I am now. I built my name in the first couple of years of modelling. So people book me most of the time because I am Emerald Barwise. I don't know why I keep doing that.
Yeah,
Emerald Barwise, I am. Rather than. I very rarely get people booking me, messaging me off Instagram or anything like that.
Okay. So if you lost your following tomorrow, that would have little impact on your shoots and work and stuff.
I wouldn't care. Yeah. I'd just set a new one up.
But would that affect your work?
No.
Okay. Would you...
It'd probably affect the amount of free food I get.
Yeah.
I like going out for dinner and drinks and stuff when people are like, oh, and I'm like...
Okay, so you don't need the sexual photos to get work.
No, because I already have my brand.
You already have your brand.
Yeah. I don't get much off Instagram. Because my algorithms are rubbish.
Okay.
Considering I've got 40,000 followers, my likes and all the rest of it are rubbish because I barely post. I'm very bad for posting things that are not appropriate.
Okay, so hypothetical, would you make your Instagram private? Wait, would you give up your Instagram for a relationship with the guy that you want?
Potentially, yes. However, I wouldn't give up my job.
Not your job, just Instagram.
Why would he have an issue with my Instagram and not my job?
I guess because the Instagram is more public for other people to see. Because generally speaking, when they're really serious about women, not every guy, but most guys, they are sexually territorial.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, he wants what he sees Friday night, he wants the smallest amount of people to see that.
But with me, that's not the case because I fly all over the world and I'm the face of brands, magazines.
100%. But I think being the face of like a magazine is different than like a lot of OnlyFans thirst trap content out there. Does that make sense? So I think there's still an element, even if that is the case, there's still an element of that professionalism there. But I guess Instagram is like anyone can see that. Like his friends can see that, his family can see that. But unless people actually went to search you online, which most people who know him, they're not going to unless he actually says, they're not going to see that. Does that make sense?
It does, but if you type my name in Instagram, then you're going to type my name in Google and everything's going to come up.
I think it depends. Like
I would get rid of my OnlyFans in a heartbeat. I would just delete that. That wouldn't bother me. I would give someone my password and stuff to my Instagram if they had an issue with it. If it was that. No,
I don't think it's about trust. I think it's about they don't want it to be easy for other people to see you naked, essentially, right? Now, obviously, professionally, the shoots you do, that's the case. But I think more people on Instagram and search on Instagram, like if someone's actually trying to find you, sure, they're going to search you in Google, right? But it's like, even if it's like if a guy's looking for a girl, if he'll search her on Instagram. If she's not there, maybe he'll search on Google, but it's less likely. He'll be like, oh wow, I just can't, maybe she doesn't have social media. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I would change what was on, I would happily put just lingerie on my Instagram and stuff, shift it. But it would depend on the relationship.
Yeah.
And it would depend why that person was with me for that amount of time for me to think it might be worth deleting my Instagram for that relationship, why they had that problem for that whole time, why you were with me.
I do get that, but I do think a lot of the time we can make compromises for a relationship. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, some guys might say, well, you know, before I was with you, I was sleeping with multiple women and now we're together and you knew I was doing this before. Why do you want me to stop doing that? Like, this is who I am, right? Of course, they don't say that, but I guess principally they could. So I think we do make compromises for a relationship, but yeah, I was just asking because, so with your OnlyFans then, if you don't even use it, and you say that when you meet guys, when they find out you have an OnlyFans, that kind of makes them feel a type of way. Why don't you just delete it so you can say,
so that nobody else can get my name? It's a brand. I get a lot of people using my name for things that are not appropriate to my brand, and it just cuts that one. I mean, people can do like hyphens and all the rest of it, but my name is trademarked. So I can go after people.
Why have you posted stuff on there if you don't use it?
I was using it in the beginning when I was single, and when COVID happened and I was making no money from shoots.
Okay.
I did do it and was posting the content that I already had from all the shoots that I'd already done.
Right.
And then I realised the amount of effort versus what I was getting back was not for me.
Could somebody, if you didn't have OnlyFans, could somebody open an account in your name, use the photos from your Instagram, put it on there?
They could do, but I'd sue them.
Yeah, I mean,
and I'd sue OnlyFans.
You'd sue OnlyFans?
Yeah, I've got my name's trademarked.
If you deleted your OnlyFans account, would it still be trademarked?
No, my name is trademarked. I've got a trademark on my name. Yeah,
I see.
Emerald Barwise. Emerald with a double M is trademarked. Emerald and Emerald Barwise is trademarked. That's why I had to add the double M. So
you could delete your OnlyFans. It wouldn't be like no one could take it.
I could, but it's just the effort. Do you know? If I've got one and people see that I've got one, they'll see it's actually me. Do you know? Versus
is that worth the impression it gives on guys? Where it's probably not going to
happen at the moment. Yeah, like if it was ever like some companies don't like you having it as well, and I've had that before. If a company had an issue with it and it was enough to warrant me deleting it, not just a shoot.
Yeah,
I'll delete it. Doesn't bother me.
Yeah, I hear that. What do you think is a compromise that you would like your guy to make? Like, have you ever wanted a guy to make a compromise that he did something before that when you're together now it's like, nah, you don't do this anymore?
Being honest. You were a liar before.
You weren't honest before.
Yeah,
so
it'd be nice if you were now. Yeah, and obviously loyalty and stuff like that. But I'm a big communicator. Like my communication skills have got so much better. Since I was younger.
What's a conversation you'd have now that you found really difficult to have before when you were younger?
Boundaries and like, what do you want from the future? And this is who I am as a person. What type of person do you want? And sexually, like I really struggled in the bedroom, letting people know what I liked and things, and just kind of put up.
Yeah. I think a lot of women struggle with that. How did you get better at doing that side in the bedroom of expressing what you like? Like, is there something, do you say it in a certain way? Like, I have my own theories, but because I think a lot of women do struggle with that, right? So like,
I think it's just age and just realizing, hang on a minute, all the people that I might have complained about in the bedroom previously, well, yeah, obviously they were going to keep doing the thing that they thought
was good
because I made good noises and things. Obviously they're going to do that again.
You faked it a lot.
Yeah. Like, and
you
then
do
I'm
it to yourself, ladies.
I know.
Why do you fake it? Because then we're going to do that more. We're like, she loves this.
Yeah, I know. And it was just age thinking, hang on a minute. There's a common denominator here. It can't always be them.
Yeah. Yeah. So is there a way you say it now? You don't have to be specific.
I think just you can tell when you're with someone the first couple of times whether they're open.
Attentive.
To, not even attentive, but open to having conversations about what you're interested in versus, you know, like.
Yeah. I think one way that, at least one way I think is always great to say is when you say, especially if you're in a relationship, you say, oh, I love it when you do X.
Yeah, rather than, no, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
100%. Like if you come from a place of positive.
Yeah. Oh, love that.
I think, I'll be honest, guys, we want to know.
Yeah.
Because one, we'll just keep it real, right? What works for you is not going to work for the next girl. What works for her is not going to work for the next girl, right?
Not one size fits all.
Exactly. So for guys, there's a lot of him being good is figuring out what works for you. So if you give him direction on that, it's like a win-win all around. It's definitely a win-win all around. You know what I mean? Have you ever had a guy say, or like, have you ever had a guy express that he wasn't satisfied in the bedroom with you? Or maybe you've said that he faked it?
No.
Not that she knows of.
No, well, obviously, so you said someone that's expressed. No.
Yeah, of course.
No, but I'm a pleaser. I like when someone likes stuff. Like, I mean, because I can do it myself. I'm not that bothered.
Yeah.
Like, I like when someone's having a good time.
Yeah.
I think when sometimes guys are really quiet. Don't get me wrong, there's like the other side of that scale. Sure. But it's nice to know when you're doing stuff that's nice.
Yeah, I guess if you do it with the person, you know, you want to please them, don't you? You want to please them. What's one last thing you want to ask or bring to conversation?
So from your perspective, why do you think men or women are more likely to cheat, and why?
Oh, it's a very good question. So cheating statistics for men over the past 30 years, it's stayed the same. For women, it's gone up. So I think this is like from the 1960 or 70 study. I think men cheated at around 28% of the time and women cheated around 14%. Now it's like women cheat at around 24% and men is still 28%, right? So it's a lot closer. Who do I think is more likely? That is... Okay. Okay. On a population level... No, wait. Okay. On an individual level, I think men are more likely to cheat. On a population level, I think women are more likely to cheat. I'll explain. Most guys don't have options. They struggle. Right? A lot of women are dating the same guys they don't know. They don't know that they're dating the same guys. Right? So for example, if a girl's like, hey, I want to date a guy who's 6 foot and above,
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how many guys are actually 6 foot and above?
I don't know. I'm 5'4", so I don't care. As long as you're like at least a couple of inches bigger than me, I don't care.
Okay. I mean, I've heard girls who are 5 foot being like, he has to be 6 foot, right? But only about 18% of men are 6 foot and above, right? If you add on attractive, successful, all of this stuff, age, the pool gets smaller and smaller and smaller. So you end up having a lot of women dating or getting their experience from the same percentage of guys. So a lot of guys really don't get that much attention.
Mm-hmm.
So if that guy is in a relationship, he's not going to cheat because A, he probably can't, and B, he's like, I'm so happy to be with a woman who chooses me and I choose her.
Mm-hmm.
If you're talking about that top percent guy, he's more likely to cheat more than anyone else out of any woman or any other guy. Now, the reason I say population level, why I think women are more likely to cheat, is because we live in a globalized dating market now, right? So before, you know, you were limited to, you would choose someone from your village, from your town, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now,
work husband,
right? But now, you know, the girl from Norfolk, she can match with the hotshot lawyer from London, the actor from LA, the athlete from France, right? So it's women have a lot more access to very high value, high quality guys that maybe before they wouldn't have. And if we're being honest, women can use their sexuality to get access to those guys. The average guy, there's not, unless he has a lot of money and a lot of attention, he can't really get access to those really high quality women being an average guy. So because that access and opportunity for women is a lot bigger, I think that's why we've seen a rise in female infidelity, because most women may not always be the options they want, but they have an abundance of options.
Yeah, like a guy, we could go out tonight.
Yeah.
And we could say, let's try and you bring a girl back, me bring a guy back.
Yeah.
Chances are I'm going to be able to, and he's going to be like a decent guy. You might not be able to bring somebody that's your top pick.
Sure.
Or even
100%
lower. Like guys, if I walk up to a guy and be like, do you want to come home with me?
He's
versus
like,
you going up to a girl more time, the guy's going to go on then.
100%. And here's the thing, even if I met a girl and she was interested in me, that doesn't mean she would come home with me that night.
Yeah.
For every girl I could bring home, you bring home like 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think because of that, and because we live in a more sexually liberated society and culture, right? So more people, men and women, are indulging in that. For women, it's just,
Woo-hoo.
There's more access. Exactly. There's more access, and we live in a culture that almost encourages that level of, I guess sexual exploration experience with no strings attached. Does that make sense? So statistically, men still do cheat more, but I think most men can't, so they don't. I think it's a small percentage of men who are doing the most of the cheating, whereas I think women's more equally distributed, as they say. Listen, we're going to wrap it there, Emmerald. So thank you so much for sharing your energy with us. We appreciate you. If people want to find you and they can catch your vintage photos, where can they find you?
On Instagram, I'm under Emerald Boweyes, at Emerald Boweyes. Yeah. I was going to say .com. That's not a thing. God, I'm not techie. Can you tell?
Not yet. Maybe that website is coming, Maybe the website is coming.
I had one.
It wasn't the one. We love that. Well, thank you for coming on. We appreciate you. Guys, go check her out. Go give her a follow. Go give her a like. Show her that good support and love, all that good stuff. And I will see you in the next video.